What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our draft analysis for Season 6 of the BBL. With the CROWN Tundra's release, there are so many legendary Pokemon that have been released to Sword and Shield. That is amazing news because it now means that the BBL is back to Wi-Fi. Yes, I am so hyped for that. I'm so happy about it because playing on Showdown, as cool as it is, as awesome as it is, it just doesn't feel right. BBL was originally done on Wi-Fi and it is back to Wi-Fi. I love it. Guys, if you guys are excited for the BBL, if you guys don't know what it is, first of all, it is an UBERS league. We have tons of UBERS available, like basically every single one of them except for like 7, like the Shadow Rider Calyrex, what else is there? Kyogre. There's only like a few of them that aren't allowed. But anyways, if you guys are excited for the BBL, then do me a favor and smash the like button. We recently passed 900 subscribers, so I want to say thank you, first of all. But second, we still have our goal, our end of year goal of 1,000 subscribers. If you guys haven't on already, make sure to subscribe for some awesome Draft League, UBERS Draft League content. You guys are going to learn a ton of stuff. It's going to be a ton of fun. So make sure to stick around if you guys enjoy competitive Pokemon. But let's go ahead and jump into it. We have 130 points in our budget, and we need to pick up between 10 and 12 Pokemon. This is a points draft. The points range from, I believe, 24 points down to 1 point. And the way the tiering works, the structure works, is anything between the ranges of 24 points and 18 points were considered Ubers. And the way it worked is you had only 41 points for your Uber budget. Meaning if you took a 24-point Pokemon, you could not take another Pokemon that was between 18 and 24 points. That was just the way we used to balance it. The most broken Pokemon are there. Something like Marshadow is there. For example, it's one of the best things. I believe Yveltal is there as well. Yveltal also probably the best Uber in the entire format. And you guys should know we had that last season. It was absolutely phenomenal for us. Unfortunately, this time around, we did not have a great pick. We only had the 15th pick out of 16. Now, while I will say it's not that bad compared to the middle of the draft, there was a specific Pokemon that I really wanted, and it unfortunately will not be getting to me because it's just too good to pass up on for someone, even though it's in the lower tiers of the Uber pool. So yeah, but again, just so you know, I'm not looking at a 24-point Pokemon. I'm looking to get 2 Ubers this time around. They did not have that last season, and I'm hoping to get 2 Ubers to really shine with both of them. And the guys, 15th pick in the draft, I'm hoping for Magearna. That's the Pokemon I wanted. I was really looking forward to it. It ended up getting, I think, 2 picks away from me, and then I got sniped by Max Raptor. I'm a little disappointed because Max always seems to snipe me in the BBL, but hey, it is what it is. We move on to our backup option, which was going to be for 19 points, which is really good, Genesect. Now, Genesect as our first pick is really solid. It provides me with a solid speed tier at base 99, gives me access to stab U-turn off of a Pokemon that gets download boosts with its attack stat potentially to make it hit really hard. It kills fairies with Iron Head, has priority in extreme speed, has ridiculous coverage. Really the only issue is its speed is not the best. It's good, don't get me wrong, but it's not the best. And that's a bit of a problem. It also has that 4 times weakness to fire, which sucks, but again, it's not the end of the world there. We can just deal with it pretty effectively. I think our team handles fire types very, very well, and you'll see that a bit later on in the draft. But we do have decent answers for fire types. We do have a cleric on our team in case this thing gets burnt or paralyzed, which is nice as well. It's just a really annoying mon for a lot of people to deal with. It's my first time using Genesect. I hope that it can be one of the MVPs of our team because it is a very scary mon to prep with. It's got ridiculous attack stat and special attack stat. I believe it's 120 on both, which is just monstrous. It's crazy how bulky, not bulky, but how strong this thing is. It's not the bulkiest thing, that is a problem, but at the end of the day, it's meant to be an annoying Pokemon, a pivot, and the best part about it is we only spent 19 points, meaning we have a really solid way to get a really good Uber, one that's actually, I believe it's 21 or 22 points throughout the rest of the draft. At 22 points, there's Palkia, which I was looking at. At 21 points, there was Reshiram and Dawnwing's Necrozma. Those are my 3 options I was looking at. Unfortunately for me, Palkia did get sniped on the way back up, but what that meant was there's only one other person who could take, Reshiram or Dawnwing's Necrozma, which meant guaranteed I can wait until the very last round, which is what I'm going to do. So if you guys saw the draft analysis for the BBR that went up on Saturday, you know I was able to wait on Moltres until the final round of the draft. And what that allowed me to do was to get picks that were going to be essentially 1 round earlier, so I wasn't going to be sniped very often in this draft. Unfortunately, it still happened a little bit, but it wasn't the end of the world. I still have a really, really strong team, and I'm hoping that I can show you guys how good the team is because it is just phenomenal. Our next pick is going to be a Pokemon that, honestly, I've kind of been wanting to use this Pokemon for a long time. I'm happy that I ended up getting it here because it's still really good, but it's not as good as it would be in Standard League, and that's going to be Tornadus Therian. Tornadus Therian is phenomenal. Why do I say Tornadus Therian specifically is phenomenal? Well, its speed at base 121 is unmatched. It's crazy good. It outspeeds so many things, has Regenerator Access, is bulky, gets a lot of different support moves, Taunt, Defog, Knockoff, has a really wide range of coverage options and Flying, Dark, Fire, Poison, Steel, whatever the case may be. It's solid all around there, and at the same time it gets Nasty Plot too, can be run physical or special. It's a really solid Pokemon all around, and it's a good pivot. My team is going to be full of pivots, full of Pokemon that can just get in and out really quickly to annoy my opponents and really wear them down over the course of the game, and then go into my next Pokemon, which you're going to see by the way, and it's going to just wreck shop. That is what I'm hoping to do. Tornadus is very nice, improves my speed, gives me a really solid cap at base 121, which is, again, faster than a lot of different Pokemon that are going to be in the league, and I'm hoping that Tornadus can prove to be one of the most underrated and best Pokemon in UBERS, even though it's not considered an Uber. It falls just below that threshold at 17 points. And at this point, guys, after 2 rounds have gone through the draft, we actually have the most points out of all the coaches left, which is crazy. Not the end of the world, or not the biggest deal, I mean, because at the end of the day, it's a points draft. You can kind of budget yourself pretty effectively, but we definitely have a ways to go. We have, honestly, 2 amazing Pokemon. We get either Dawnwaste, Necrozma, or Reshiram at the end of the draft. I'm hoping to show you guys that they're phenomenal Pokemon down at the end, and I can just use these ones to kind of make them even better. Moving on though, our next pick, you guys are going to be like, it's going to be crazy. This next wheel pick, because again, like this point, the draft's going back up, now it's coming back down to us. We have 2 picks basically back to back. And I've been wanting to use this thing for a long time. I really wanted it. I really wanted it in both the NCP and the BBR. Unfortunately, they did get sniped from me, but not this time around. We are finally going to go ahead and grab Dracovish. The murder button is on our team. This thing, finally, I get to use it. I am so excited. Josh, I'm going to do it proud. Okay, if you guys don't remember Josh, Ultra Player 12, he is the guy who basically beat us with Dracovish. He in the NCP, he won the championship with that thing. He uses it so well. I'm going to take some inspiration from him and just use it to destroy teams because it is so good. Scarf, Band, Life Orb, substitute with Super Fang, and so I can just then get a KO with Fishes Rent after the fact is great. Sand Rush is legal in this game because of the ability capsule item that allows me to get Sand Rush as my hidden ability. Just huge, absolutely enormous. For 15 points, I will definitely take it. It is a stud of a Pokemon. These first 3 are so difficult to switch into, especially because Genesect and Tornadus force so many switches. I U-turn out and I get into Dracovish and I just click buttons with Bandit or Scarf Fish's Rend. It's going to be so difficult for my opponents to switch in on. And at the same time, it also gets Water Absorb, which, I mean, in case I absolutely need it, which I don't think I will, but just in case I have it there, which is nice. But yeah, that is our Dracovish. Moving on to our next mon. Again, you guys are going to say, like, what the hell, man? How the hell are you getting this team? My next Pokemon is Landorus Therian. What the hell? Oh my god, my team is insane right now. I cannot believe how strong our first 4 are. It's a Levitator as well, or a Flying type as well, so it's our second one. Yes, it is 4 times weak to Ice. Yes, so is our Dracovish when it comes to Freeze Dry, and we do have our Tornadus being weak to Ice as well. And Genesect, it's not the bulkiest steel in the world, so Ice can be a bit of a problem. We do definitely have answers though towards the end of our draft. But at the end of the day, it forces switch-ins, has ridiculous attack stat, gets Stealth Rocks, our first rocker, U-turn, Intimidate as well. It's bulky, it's just a jack of all trades. It can do pretty much anything. It can double dance if I needed to. It is crazy how strong Landorus is. I've used it before in the past to moderate success, not the best. I don't think I've ever used it in Wi-Fi except for BBL Season 1, which I had to drop it in, I believe, because I just need to round out my team a bit better. But honestly, Landorus is phenomenal. It's going to do so well on my team. I have no words. I'm so excited I got these 4 Pokemon, and keep in mind, I still have room for a last round Necrozma or a last round Reshiram. It is crazy. My team is going to be fire. Our next pick, I'm looking forward to, I'm hoping and praying I get Incineroar as my next pick because it is going to give me an amazing Dark type, it's going to give me an amazing Fire type, and I need those things. Those are 2 really important types to have because one, it's going to be a good Grass Resist, another Grass Resist on top of the Genesect and of the Tornadus as well. It also is going to give me a Dark type, which is resisting to Ghost and to Dark, which my team currently does not have the weaknesses, or currently has weaknesses to. Unfortunately for me, it did get sniped. No one wanted to trade me either, so I couldn't grab it. So in the end, I went with my backup option, which is going to be my Heliolisk here. Now, Heliolisk specifically I want because, one, it bridges the gap of speed between the Genesect and the Tornadus. It also provides me with a water immunity through Water Absorb. It gives me a Ghost immunity as well, and you guys can kind of figure out what I'm going to be drafting next. Not next, but like as my other Uber. So I really want to grab this thing here because, again, it provides me with U-turn and Volt Switch, which are really solid. It gives me really powerful moves in Surf, Dark Pulse, I believe it gets, and Hyper Voice, which are all very strong, as well well as Thunderbolt, and I believe it gets a discharge too. So it's very, very strong here. It gets Thunder Wave as well, which can be very, very problematic for opposing teams to deal with. I can just control the speed of my opponent's team, then Dracovish and Genesect can go in. Very strong setup here. It's going to come to a good amount of games. For 11 points, it's solid, but the biggest reason, again, was it gives me an electric type to help deal with opposing waters, a water immunity through Dry Skin, and at the same time, it gives me that speed tier that I really needed. So that is why we have the Heliolisk on our squad. Big jump in terms of value, in terms of points and like impressiveness in our team from the first 4 down to Heliolisk. I get that, but at the end of the day, it's still a very, very scary mon for opponents to deal with sometimes. So we got to make sure they keep that in mind when they're prepping, not just our first 4 mons. And if they over prep for our first 4 and our last mon, our next Uber, then Heliolisk can just say fuck you and go in and just win the game with Scarf or Specs or Life Orb or whatever the case may be. Our next mon is going to be a very important thing that our team needs, and that is going to be webs, and that is going to be coming from our Slurpuff. Slurpuff has so much value for this team. 10 points is solid because you get tons of different options, and UBERS is really solid. I've been using a team that lived past me for UBERS, which has a Slurpuff as a lead. It's a Sash set with Unburden. It gets a Yawn, Magic Coat, Webs, and then it's like Misty Explosion, which is very cool. Those 4 moves can definitely see some play. If I notice my opponent does not have good hazard removal, I can just get up Webs with a Sash Slurpuff, click Misty Explosion, and bye-bye. I'm then in with my Sweeper, in with my Dracozolt, and not Dracozolt, but Dracovish, and click Fish's Rends. If they're banded and they don't have anything that's going to outspeed my Dracovish, then forget about it. It's going to be over. I'm so excited to use Slurpuff. Belly Drum is a real set as well. Cotton Guard is a real set as well. It gets Draining Kiss now too, and also Calm Mind is a really strong set too. So basically there's tons of different options. There's offensive sets that are sweepers, there's defensive sets because this thing is pretty bulky, it gets Wish, it gets Aromatherapy. There's support options too. Tons of different things to do with Slurpuff. 10 points is a great, great pick for a Fairy type. It is a Fighting Resist, it is a Dark Resist, it is very, very great. It's a Dragon Immunity. My team desperately needed this Pokemon, and I'm happy that I was able to grab it. If I got Incineroar, I'd be a little bit happier over Heliolisk, but hey, it is what it is. We move on to our next pick, which is going to be our Silvally. Now, Silvally has tons of value because it provides me with Defog, making it so that my Tornadus and my Landers don't have to run Defog if I want hazard removal, because those things are going to, like, at the end of the day, they're not super pressured, but I want them to have freedom to do whatever they want to do because they are really strong Pokemon. So Valley gives me a normal type, which is an immunity to Ghost, but it also gives me a dark type, which is, well, immune to Psychic, but also resists Dark and resists Ghost. It gives me a Fire type, which I was missing out before. It gives me any type I need it to be, and at the same time, I've used Silvally in the past before to pretty decent success. 95 base stats all around is pretty good. It's not the worst. Parting Shot is very nice. U-Turn as well. The Swords Dance set with multi-attack, Flame Charge is a definite possibility as well. I'm thinking that Silvally could be very, very strong in the meta for us and just really force some switches as well, be an annoying threat that my opponent has to deal with every single week, and at the end of the day, I can get into something like my Dracovish, like my Landorus, like my nasty plotting Tornadus, or just a download boosted Genesect. It's going to be very, very terrifying for them to deal with, and I think for 13 points, I kind of had to go with it. And at this point in time, guys, we have 7 Pokemon. We have 3 Mons left to grab, but only 29 points. And I told you guys before, at this point, the most expensive Pokemon that we can get is going to be Necrozma Dawnwings or Reshiram for 21 points, which means we're only going to have 8 points left for 2 Mons. One Pokemon I really wanted very badly. It's only 1 point, which I waited on until my next pick. But the next one, it means I have 7 points left, and I felt like I needed to grab something that can deal with normal types, because normal types are a bit problematic, as well as something that can help deal with dark types in case my Genesect gets picked off early, because after that, I really don't have much, because Slurpuff might not be offensive every week, and my final pick, which you guys, at this point, you can guess what it is, has trouble dealing with, so I went with a fighting type, and that is going to be the Passimian. Now, Passimian gives me a few things. The first one is gives me a solid speed tier at base 80. Definitely will take that right between the what is it called, the Landorus and my next Mon, or my next one, but the one after that, my final one, and it's important. It also gives me Defiant, so if my opponent wants to get rid of the webs on my side of the field, good luck. Defiant boosted Passimian, anyone? Close combats, U-turns, knockoffs, whatever the case may be, very, very strong here. It's not the greatest fighting type in the world, but it gives me what I need, and that's more U-turn, it's Defiant, it's the speed tier, everything on it just is so valuable. Getting rid of the darks and the normals I will definitely take, as well as getting rid of the steals essentially. If I don't bring Landorus to that game, I need to make it a bit easier on Genesect, Dracovish, and Tornadus. So I feel very confident in Passimian as our 8th Mon here, as a good rounding out Pokemon for our team. But moving on, we have 1 point to spare before our Uber, and I'm going to grab a Pokemon that pairs really well with the Dracovish. I wanted this since I took it, and that's going to be the Hippopotas. Why did I want this thing? Well, the big reason is that it gets access to Sandstream, meaning if I decide to say, hey, you know what, a Choice Bandit Sandrush Dracovish does really, really well, I can just run a Smooth Rock Hippopotas. I'll have 8 turns of Sand. I'll be able to outspeed everything that I want to with my Dracovish. Vicious Rend Dip to KO with my choice band and really cause problems for my opponent's team. At the same time, it's a very, very, very bulky ground type with access to Slack Off, with access to Stealth Rock. It's our second rocker on the team, so I felt like it was kind of a necessity for me, and at one point, it shouldn't be valued at 1 point on my roster. It should more likely be valued at like, I'd say 4 or 5, which at the end of the day is pretty good value. I will definitely take advantage of that, so I'm very happy with Hippopotas. But at this point, we're gonna have 10 Pokemon on our team. We had the option to go from 10 to 12. I decided to be the first one of the entire league to end off here at 10 Pokemon. That is going to be our Dawn Wings Necrozma. Why did I go with Dawn Wings Necrozma? Well, the big reason was because look at my team. I don't have a Psychic type, I don't have a Ghost type. Kind of obvious. At this point, I was telling you before, I really want to grab Incineroar. I already have a Dragon type in my Dracovish. Now, while doubling up on Dragons wouldn't be too bad, Dawn Wings Necrozma is severely underrated. It's not weak to rocks like Reshiram would be, so I'm not taking 25% on Stealth Rocks coming in. Gets Prism Armor, so I can set up on a lot of things. Gets Autotomized, gets access to Calm Mind, gets really solid coverage. Not the best, not really a way to hit Dark types outside of like Brick Breaker X's or something, which is not the greatest considering a special attack at 157 is really what you're all about. But hey, Moongeist Beam is insane. It really has no switch-ins to its Ghost type stab unless it's from a Dark type or from a normal type. We have Brick Break for those, which is not, again, it's not the best, but it's manageable. We can set up with Dragon Dance, we can set up with Calm Mind, Autotomize, like I said before, get Stealth Rocks as well if I need to. Subtoxic is a really viable set as well. 77 speed is not bad at all. Basically, this thing is going to be a menace for my opponents to deal with. And look at our team right now. It is crazy that we were able to wait until the very last pick of our draft to grab essentially what is going to be our best Pokemon. No one else can say that. We definitely have that, and we have been able to really create an insane team that teams are going to have so much trouble dealing with. I think we definitely have a route to making the playoffs, not necessarily just making the playoffs, but winning the entire thing. Our team is so scary. I'm excited for the BBL. I'm excited for all the leagues we got going on. So if you guys are excited for more draft league content, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video as well if you enjoyed. Give me your predictions for the league down below. There are 10 weeks in the season. I'm predicting we're going to go, I'll say 7-3. We have a really tough schedule, but at the same time, I think our team is that good that we can go 7-3, maybe 6-4 at the very worst. And I find that we can definitely overcome any obstacle in our way to go all the way and get to the BBL Season 6 Championship. This league is going to be going up on Monday, so make sure to come back next Monday for the next battle. Or you guys can just do me a favor, subscribe, put on the bell for notifications. That way you'll never miss an upload when I go live. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys all next time.